All right. Okay. So yeah, I caught now it's an image in the frame that it's impossible for an
God damn it. I don't know what happened.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So so I have the image with the burst, and in the burst in one of the frames, I guess it was because of the technology from the camera, the lighting from the rainbow with the end of the rainbow that I wasn't supposed to see. And in that moment, whatever cloaking devices that these individuals are using was exposed in a split second, and I was able to catch it. Um, there's a lot going on inside of the actual rainbow. And it's just like I said, we're not supposed to see the edge of a rainbow, the end of a rainbow,
Mm-mm.
because it's an optical illusion. And I have the video and the photo of the end of the rainbow, what's inside of the rainbow, and the individual standing on the side of the rainbow.
All right. Now,
And I promise
can you email it to me?
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. I'll email you the actual photo, and you can put it to the test.
Okay.
You can put that image to the test if you want to. You can make it shadow so you can see you can make it black and white so you can see the image, and I promise you the image has an afro. I promise you it does. And so that's why I'm like, it's some things going on that we're not privy to observe. And when I send you when I send you this email, just remember that when the image is in a canyon that you can't get to,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get to that. And the only reason was able to take it is because we're driving on the highway, and I'm like this doing a burst,
Mm-hmm.
and I at that split second I caught it. And so I'm like, that's some strange stuff, but I mean, it is what it is, and it's undeniable that there's an image there. It's not a like, maybe if you squint your eye, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that they're using some kind of technology that's beyond us, that has to do with light. It has to do with light. Maybe I might be able to pull it up. Let me see.
So what I'm gonna send you this what I found now, right? But it's a certain list how they have it. See this, it show you everything that's on Earth, and then it says extraterrestrial. When they got extra hyphen
Mm-hmm.
terrestrial on here, and then it says the moon. They got a mine on the moon. Hold on. They got 37 mines on the moon, 64 on Mars, 8 on Mercury. They have 1 on Pluto, 15 on Venus, and then it says 16 outer space. I'm gonna go back to that. They got one on some, I don't know if this is a comet, a rock, or whatever, but it tells you, it says 162173, and I can't pronounce this thing here. And it goes on Europa. They got a mine on Europa. They got a mine on Io. They got a mine on shoot, everything damn near.
They be
It's a list that show you the ones they have further out in deep space. So I'm gonna look for that list too, so that you can. Oh, what the?
Now let's observe. Now, are you supposed to see the end of a rainbow?
Nope.
Okay. Now let me see. Let me show you who's there. Let me show you who this is scientifically impossible.
Uh-huh.
That's impossible.
And then
And it's on this rock right here. This is the rock that it's on. It's on a flat surface.
mm-hmm,
When I send you the image, you're going to be able to blow it up and you're going to see where this rainbow lands right here.
mm-hmm.
So let me show you who's standing there. I hope it won't cut it off. I hope it don't cut the image off. Um let me see. Yeah, it's cutting the image off. It's not letting me show the
That
image.
part of the image.
No, it's not letting me because it's on the far left side, and
Let me see if I
that's why. Okay, there we go.
okay.
See the rainbow right there?
Uh-huh.
See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's what was caught in a split second burst. Now, when I send you the image, you're gonna be able to blow the image up
Mm-hmm.
and see it. So whatever technology that they're using, when at that the timing was right with my camera doing the burst, and then I was able. This in here is stuff in there,
Mm-hmm.
and this right here isn't. There's no way to get there.
Uh-huh. And it looked like a person right there.
It's a person, but the technology is cloaking it,
Uh-huh.
and it's a person in some kind of clothing like it looks like some priestly type stuff because it looks like it's a long coat, and then it has an afro at the top. You see the afro?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't something that's ambiguous. Maybe it's a person image. So this is the closest that you're gonna get to seeing some strange stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
lights in the sky. But everybody knows that you ain't supposed to see the end of a rainbow.
No.
And it's on that platform right there. This is actually a flat surface. So I don't know what was going on, but I know something was going on, and some primates was rolling by in a car and caught it. That's what we got.
In the right place. You was meant to catch it. Cause
Right.
you wasn't meant
And
to
so
when they caught it.
I wouldn't have caught it. It was all timing. So when we talk about, and this is a science that is is studied but not studied, the science of colors
Mm-hmm.
and frequency. And
Science of sound too.
I didn't hear anything. I mean, from what I saw, it was just based on color and visuals. Um, I did kind of dabble into to light spectrum and bending of light.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is what's going on because it's three observers. It's three events is going on. It's the event here with the observer. It's an event here with the rainbow, and the third event observer was me. And technically four because it's the camera interface,
Mm-hmm.
but um yeah, those are all the events that lined up for me to catch that image. And when I send it to people and not in video form and send it to them in the form of the photo, the original photo, they can't. No one can explain it. No one can explain the image because you could actually zoom into the image and put it to the test to see if it's photoshopped or whatever the case may be, because you can tell if something is photoshopped, especially when use different filters. You can see it. The overlay. That's a there's nothing there. It's bulletproof. Nothing there.
You'll be able to see.
There's nothing there, but you can see the image. I'll email it to you so
Okay.
you can see so you can look at it. But yeah, it's some things going on that we just that it's a lot being hidden. And I heard I think it was these truths and a um couple of other people on here that they were talking about uh Nibiru and Anunnaki and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of stuff going on. We don't know everything. Hell, we're so slow. We don't even know that we from this continent.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone know our position in within
Space.
any space or any other entities in space. So, but it's mighty funny that all of these civilizations around the world talk about some creatures some people coming from outer space.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is saying the same thing. I think when was it 2020 that on Fox News that they was talking about showing the UFOs. So this isn't something that's out of the ordinary or new.
So I'm gonna try to share something. So the mines that I was telling you about, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one is a mine that is on NGC 6302 Bug Nebula, also called Butterfly Nebula, right? They have a mine on here. Let me see. Go down and let me hold on. Let me give me a second. Um, check out that. So here it is. NGC 6302 Bug Nebula Butterfly, right? This is the website over here. Hold on. Go all the way to the top. Our localities. And it said they are currently 400. Well, look, you see this right there. Right there. All of the mines.
Hmm.
There's Earth. Tell you about the mines that's in the Arctic, right? Argentina. 2,033 mines, right? Tell you how many mines in Afghanistan. How many mines that are in the African plate? They got 4 in the African plate. Arabic plate, 1. So those are the tectonic plates, I guess, in the ocean. In
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica, where they supposedly got a treaty. Antarctica, hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be there.
You're not supposed to be there. They got 432 mines. So I'm
Hmm.
curious to see what's down there.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, and then they show you where the mines are.
So what is Snow doing up there? And digging in the ground. Well, you know what? It was a time where it wasn't no snow caps up there,
Mm-hmm. I'm just
so
one that
it makes sense.
I'm gonna go more inland right here. I want to see what's on this because they tell you the elements and all. All right, so it's four, one, two, three, four, four right here. It's Fort Moore. No caps. Trans. Let's see. They even give you the longitude and latitude. For those of you who want to take any screenshots on here, longitude and latitude right there. Go to the website. So let's go down and here go the elements. Biodite, or they got pyrite, other elements that I can't pronounce. But let's just see what this is.
What is pyrite doing up there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what pyrite is?
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
So this is this element here. It
What is that? Biodite. Hmm.
looks like that. And then it looks like an alien head there. Or kind of looks mixed metal a little bit.
Hmm.
And this one here at the bottom comes from Soda Lake. I guess they might have it. Well, not come from. This may be where they got it stored at down there. And they got that one there. If don't you live in California? And then this one here.
Yeah. We got a lot of pyrite here, but I never heard of biodite.
Listen to this. Look. Okay, colorless blue, bluish green, reddish, colorless, and transmit light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we just talk about light technology,
I told you. I told you that's a field. This is what we're talking about.
uh huh,
They tell us, oh, you can only see, it's only a certain, you can only see a small portion of the light spectrum, and there's really no science behind that. Other than they have light technology in the form of um, what is that called? You know, the light on your remote control sends a beam of light to your
yeah, that
TV to
laser.
change the channel.
It's like a little laser, some type of
Yeah,
technology.
they send a light frequency to interact with your TV. But this is right here. This right here, we talking about. This is on a whole nother level.
It sure is.
This on a whole nother level,
Look,
huh?
I can virtually show you what the stone look like. This is a crystal atlas right here.
Okay, so is that the structure of it?
Yes, I guess on this subatom, like micro.
Oh, yeah, that's the structure underneath the high powered microscope. So it's an actual.
Oh, I didn't
It
mean.
doesn't have any webbing. That's what's getting me. If you look at other stones underneath the microscope, you're gonna see a different kind of matrix that's inside of it, and this one doesn't have it.
Look,
It's just a it's just a
I guess at the points of light they may have. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Or this could just be a 3D model. I'm not sure. I it got, hold on, let me see. It said click on the that, and then oh look, you see that?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
But it got so much information on this website. You can like play around, look at the view. You know what? Let me show you that like that. I'm gonna play around with it for you so you can see.
That's interesting.
And then they do this. Guess I can take that back off. That's with the troggle. And then transparency.
Hmm.
So let's see what this view thing is. Oh, let me put that back down. It just lets you play with it. Oh, that's interesting.
So does it have it should say a level of uh, fractalization or something like that. Basically means bending of light.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Uh, Let me go up. They might be here because I passed by some stuff I wasn't shown. Might not be. Is this right here the bending of the light, the optical data?
Yes.
Okay, so can you see it good?
Not that good. It's real grainy. What are the numbers that they say, the categories that they say?
Okay, so the RI value is, I'm not sure how you pronounce this now.
Refractive index.
Okay,
That's what I meant.
refractive index. It says NA equals 1.483, NB equal 1.486, NY equal 1.487, and then the 2V value is measured at 71 degrees, calculated at 58. And then it says the total on this little grayscale thing is 0.004. Image
And,
shows interference color range at 30. I'm not sure what that is. Thickness versus relatively strong.
yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that website
I'm telling
to
you,
see.
information on here. When I shared this with my friend was like, "What in the? They got all of this on here."
Yeah. While we sitting here on TikTok shaking our butts.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Snow doing.
Information on this one stone. Like I'm just strolling. Now we on other information, and it mentions the thermal behavior, dehydration, the endothermic occurs at 380 and 500K, and it tells you.
Thermal 500K, 500 kelvins.
I guess it say between, but it said occurs at 380 and 500K. Red,
Okay, so
a readily soluble in cold water.
is what?
It says readily soluble in cold water.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure what that means, but
Oh, it's real easy to find out what it
I have
means.
to go deep, like Google some stuff.
Only thing like refractive index, you're gonna go little bit by bit. You go research refractive index, high and low,
Look at this.
and then they're gonna give you a number,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna give you a scale, and you can actually Google refractive index scale,
Oh,
and then you're gonna see those numbers, and you're gonna be able to know if it's a low fractal. It means the shattering of light, like a diamond. The diamond, when the light hits it, it bends the light in every direction.
mm-hmm.
So, so it has a relatively high fractal index, depending on how pure your diamond is. So it's the same concept with other minerals, and especially uh, rocks that has a refractive properties that can scatter light. That's the only thing that they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other stuff, you got to go line by line and see what those measurements are, because those are just measurements. And so you're going to have to it shouldn't take you no longer than 30 minutes to get abreast of what they're talking about.
Okay.
It just seems like it's a lot, but it's not a lot.
They got Jimson down.
It's not a lot. So the thing is, what are they using that for?
Exactly.
You don't know what it has to be, some kind of technology that they're using it for. And once you punch in that the mineral, that the rock, you can ask the computer what is it used for, or what applications is it for. The computer is going to tell you. It's going to tell you. It's just that people aren't interested in science. So most people, this is not information that's going to be part of our community knowledge of within the melanated people. And they got whole groups on Facebook and other social media sites that they'll tell you about this. Only thing you gotta do is ask them. They're gonna tell you everything you need to know about this. But I had no idea that they was up there doing that. So now it makes sense on why they make treaties to where you can't go up there.
Mm-hmm. Can't nobody own. They don't want nobody to try to start owning the land. And if you start owning the land down there, they can't, mine.
Right.
Okay, so crude Jimson is used. It's a fluxing agent, fertilizer, filler in paper and textiles, a retardant in concrete, put in concrete, board products, plaster. Let me see. Let's see about this. What this is used for. Like this website got so many stones on here. Oh my goodness, so many minerals, like minerals you ain't never heard of. Uses.
Hmm.
So, uh,
That's interesting.
this thing here very interesting. Like this thing. Let me put what it just giving me data information on this. It don't give me an easy answer on this one. So
Mm-mm.
chemical radiate from a center without producing stellar forms. That's another mine website. It's called Web Mineral. I guess to give you additional information on these elements. So then it tells you, it breaks it down to composition. It's iron, hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen, and it tells you the percentage right here, and it tells you the percentage
Hmm.
right there, and it breaks it down to total oxide. Okay, hold on. It even got the etymology on this thing. Latin. Oh, fiber meaning, and then the other word meaning iron.
Yeah, they're real thorough. They're real thorough.
It looked like a.
I probably got a geology book somewhere probably in my garage, cause I'm really not in the rocks. Um, and I might have to get into rocks.
You should. I know you should. Ooh, you really should. I'm gonna say this. They're very.
Yeah,
Oh, I.
I'm more into what the rocks do than the rocks themselves, but yeah, that's a missing part of information that's valuable.
That it is. I'm finna
That is valuable.
see what else little stuff they got on here. What is this right here? I never seen this before or this element before. Never heard of the pick picker pick hold on, pickerlinite. Picker pickerlinite. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Oh, I see why it's called pickerlinite. It looked like something, if you step on it, it's gonna tear your tail up.
Right?
It will tear you up.
It was like them goat heads to times 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Look, John Pickerling.
You know it has to have some snow up there.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about he discovered something. He discovered that.
Mm-hmm. He ain't discovered nothing.
That's what he gonna tell you. He was the father of that rock.
An indigenous person probably showed him the damn rock. He probably
Right.
an indigenous person and seen them with it somewhere. And next thing you know, he talking about he didn't discovered it. He didn't discover nothing. It says it's brittle.
It's brittle.
Yeah, it's brittle.
Okay, so when we're looking at rocks and technology, we're looking at their capability of distributing light,
Okay, distribute.
um, retaining heat or letting out heat, and what else would we be looking at? See, that's why I need to go and I need to really look into this
Mm-hmm.
to see. But I know those properties are important in our technology that we use today. That's why they were telling the people that it's gold inside of our cell phones because of its electrical conduit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Magnesium aluminum sulfite. Okay, so this picolinite is a magnesium aluminum sulfite material. Okay, so
so I know magnesium is combustible,
mhm,
but it has aluminum inside of it,
which is a metal,
right?
and then they got a sulfite. It's sulfite. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on, I'm rambling.
Magnesium and sulfide together is gonna cause a fire.
Yeah, so let me see something from the Stone Town.
That I know.
What is this? Stone Town Reserve. Let me see. It sounds like something over here in America. Got the calm. So let me see what's going on. Um,
And I'm trying to figure out how they gonna prevent people from going to parts of the planet.
yeah, they
How they
box
how they do that?
like we in a video game. And girl, you know you can't go below a certain degree, cause girl, they had the Navy and them run down on you. Not the Navy, yeah, the Navy, Coast Guard, they run down on you with guns on the ships.
How they even work? How we got how we get to this point?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get to a point to where people is dictated where you go on the planet?
Exactly. Like who gave them the right to tell
Yeah,
you can go here?
who made them? Who made them God?
Exactly. Who made them God? Cause only God can, tell you where you can and cannot go. Like who made you God? Who died and made you God? And you know, put you in a position to tell us where we can and cannot go.
This is amazing. This is definitely amazing.
Trying to find more information on this right here. But let's see. Product it is it's formed in the aluminum rich rocks and coast. I swear, okay, it occurs in these minerals here, which
I remember they were talking about it's a hole up there that leads into the earth.
yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I know you used to could see it on the Google Earth map, but they kind of like covered it up. It was a big ass hole.
Mm.
You could fly something into it. It was like on the side of
Right.
a mountain or something. But they got it covered up now. You can't see it, which I think is crazy. Look, here go another one that look like something that'll tear you up, but not as bad as the other one. This kind of looks similar to what is it? Selenite.
What do they tell you how the hardness of it
Yeah, let me look for it real quick. So the hardness of it is 2.5. So it is a 2.5 on the hardness scale. So let's see something. I think that's like the other one that's brittle. Yeah, hard.
because a lot of substances is grind it down into a powder.
Okay.
That's why that
Okay. So
um
scale 1 is the softest, 10 is the hardest material. So it's a 2.5. It's close to soft. So.
is real soft. It'll crush up.
Mhm.
But just like they call what is that alchemy? That was a whole science.
I wanted to do this dissolve in water too, like the selenite. If you get it wet, it dissolve or whatever. Oh,
Uh huh.
that's what it looks like on the optical data. All the other ones was great. This thing got a rainbow on here.
Uh huh. Hmm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting because we've been seeing. Let me look and see what it could be used for.
Well, it looks like we might have to go to that Harvard website and look at these
Oh,
rocks.
this is made. It's basically magnesium carbonate. So this got carbon in it. So it got melanin.
Okay.
Well, a part of melanin. Carbon is basically the base ingredient for melanin. So okay, so um, oh my head. Okay,
Magnesium is a mineral. So it's just a combination of
Okay, so they use this here. They use this in food, girl. Magne-
well, when I was thinking about magnesium, I was like, you can eat magnesium.
Now this thing here say, is widely used as a food additive, to prevent caking, and is a whitener in food processing applications. So let's.
So they feeding that to us.
I'm assuming if that is basically what this is. This right here, I can't pronounce this.
I can't really see it because it's so small.
I'm a. I don't know if you. No, I can't even type in my damn chat. Okay, so can let me see something. Do they got a wiki page for this? Can you see it right here? Nas neat or night?
Nesquehanite.
Okay, Nes Q. I'm looking at that. Girl, you know I'm tired because I see it say Q, but I say neat. What in the world? So
Hmm.
let's see. I'm looking for a wiki page or something because I'm trying to. Essentially, is that? Okay, so okay, the formula is MgCO3. MgCO3. So hold on, wait a minute. No, I was just looking at that page. So let me go here. Back to the top. So it is a combination of two elements. Mg, what is Mg? Magnesium carbonate
Magnesium.
third with 3H2O.
Okay, those are right.
Yep, 3H2O. So magnesium carbonate with 3 molecules of H2O. With yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
3 molecules of H2O. So yeah, they got water in it. Interesting. Well, everything got. Well, that
Hmm.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that's when you get off into this science is real interesting, and I'm trying to understand why snow is up there, but
Mm-hmm.
he might just be harvesting minerals for a later date. Because what they do is they'll harvest a mineral or a ore, a unknown source, and they will do experiments on it, and sometimes it might just sit until they find a reason for it.
Uh huh. I can see.
But the reason why they give us access to the information is because that's how they get information.
Mm-hmm. If they
They
just hoard it,
right, because what'll happen is somebody like me or you,
you go to
uh, some
creator.
some eccentric person will go and get this stuff and start mixing stuff together and form something.
That's the.
But they control all the mineral that you need to mass produce a new idea or technology.
Uh huh.
That's what they'll do.
You're right about that. You are right about that. It's this.
Or they'll just flat out just steal your idea.
They shut now. That's another thing they'll do. They don't care about that. They try to keep.
They'll just flat out just steal it and then pay you if you can gather up enough funds for an attorney and sue them. They'll keep you in court and then eventually pay you out after they've made billions of dollars off of it because they're not doing it to enhance humanity. They're doing it to make some money.
Mm-hmm. You were right about that. That's all. It's just a money move to them.
Yeah, but if I don't think that they should be up there doing stuff like that
Yeah, even
because
it's to preserve it. Y'all ain't preserving. Y'all got mines up here. Mine.
I because that right there, that's our those poles actually are our
Look at it.
cooling
Land
systems.
without the snow on it.
Right, they're our cooling systems, and it keeps the planet cool. And so if they're up there mining and extracting and doing different things, they could cause some problems.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care about the environment. They feel that if they mess the environment up, they're gonna go in the caves again.
Oh my God. They don't care. Look at this. This is all the minerals in that one mine.
Hmm.
It says it's 68 valid minerals.
And some that's top secret.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
It say 4 TL. So what is this? I want to be nosy. What in the world? Storm. Nesite. Hell yellow. See, we coming up on stuff I ain't never heard of, boy.
Right? Only thing you gotta do is get an interest in something for the week. People like us, we have an interest for the week
You sure do. We
and do a crash course on it.
So this here is a ferromagnesium sulfites. This stone here, whatever. Well, this material here. Uh, Origins of the storm. What is this storm? How do you pronounce this? Hold on, let me get it real quick. Stormicide. Why? It has I'm gonna have to click on that, but I want to find one that I think this is a paper because it got citations and stuff. Let me see. Yeah, this is American mineralogist. The first terrestrial magnesium dominant member of the Fill-Away group. Good God, their name and stuff I ain't never heard of before. This here is interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a little scientist over the week.
He said we gonna focus on these minerals up here.
Yeah,
What did y'all do? Snow? What are you guys doing up there?
yeah. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, we need to figure out what they doing.
Okay,
That's what.
this mineral, it says, particularly surrounding a spherical quartz. Let's see. What? All right, this is the little website I like right here. So it tells you the composition is sodium. Uh, they got all type of stuff. Lord, uranium, iron, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, ur, urter. Hold on, how do you pronounce that? Ytterbium, I think. But yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, what is Snow doing up there?
Yeah, what are they doing? I think I'm Boy, they got us like cornered off, and they all over the planet. Like they the aliens sucking this thing dry while they trying to kill off the original inhabitants or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Generally, just
But what are they doing with it? What is the application?
that's what I
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
use for. I typed in uses, and it just start. Let me type in um, use for. Let's see. Okay, so it ain't really giving me. Oh shit! That scared the hell out of me. See, with some of these materials, they just got papers. I don't even think they know what it's used for.
They got white papers or articles attached to it.
Um, they got like, hold on, what is this? It's like databases, like it's like they archive the material stuff. It's like databases. Hold on, wait a minute. I see something interesting. What is this radioactive gamma ray? I'm gonna have to learn and see if that is if that's like saying it. It's okay. Um, the closest thing I see is like fertilizer, but I think they lying. Like I know they lying. It,
They ain't using that for no fertilizer. Why they extracting that mineral out of the ice using that as a fertilizer?
exactly, cause they doing something else. Like let's see, water-free phosphorus without unsimilar anions.
But I do know if it has sodium and a bicarbonate, it is possible to be used in high grade fertilizers.
Okay.
That's possible.
For sure.
It's possible.
So they could.
But I don't trust what I don't believe that that's what they up there doing.
Me either.
I don't believe that.
We got something called Garnet Group on here, so I'm finna click that and see what this about. Oh, garnet. So they got a bunch of garnets out there. Quite a few garnets.
Hmm.
Man, I just be hit.
That looks like kind of like a ruby.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, yeah, a green, not a ruby, but an emerald.
Coral. Or what's the one everybody was going crazy for? That stone, um, greenstone. Goodness. When you get it, it'll clear everything out. You're like, but it come from outer space. Fuck.
Kryptonite.
Not kryptonite. No, it's a real stone here. It's only made when a comet or something touched down. They got it in like Russia's the mines over there. It's green. Goodness. Oh, I got it too. What is it called? And it's used to contact people from outer space. Goodness, what is it called? Oh, something like. I can't think of it. My brain just is not picking it up right now. But it was
So do you
every
think this is what they digging up in the North Pole?
huh
This is what they digging up out there
in the South Pole.
in the South Pole. Okay.
We still in Antarctica. I'm just clicking random stuff. They got hematite out there. That's magnetic stones. Let's see. They got pyrite quartz. Uh,
Yeah, of course, gonna be found everywhere. Pyrite, we ain't found no application that's useful for that. It's not a good heat conductor.
let's see. Argonite. What is argonite? Let's see. Argonite. They got this. That shit look like an alien boy.
Okay, so let's tackle this like this. It's getting kind of late.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's tackle this like this. We're gonna look at the We're gonna do the same thing that we do for any other research. Firstly, we have to know when they say night,
Mhm.
the suffixes and prefixes behind the word. Then we can be able to tackle the word, and it's gonna translate into green rock something. But we need to know what when we see those words, we need to know what the meaning of those words are.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me flip my camera around. Cause how do you flip this thing around? There we go.
Yeah, we need to know how those words reflect what we're seeing.
Yeah, we do.
Because we keep seeing the same ending words for them. And since this is going to be something new research that we're going to do a crash course on, because I'm going to look into it tomorrow and see what are they doing up there? What are they doing? And I'm going to see if I can go to the Library of Congress and get an image because they hide stuff there.
Yeah, they do.
And so I'm gonna see if I can get an image from back in the 40s or 30s and 40s. When was that treaty made? You don't know?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Is modern though, right?
Yeah, it's modern, but before they made that treaty, they had Admiral Byrd and them out there, and then remember they did a few experiments. What is Fishbowl and what is the other one? Operation Fishbowl, Operation High Jump, and there's another one they did. They did a few.
I see. So yeah, we just need to look at, and it should be time for because I think it's 75 years. The Information Act,
Hmm.
75 years. So we should be able to have access to a lot of stuff that was in the 30s and 40s, where the videos were where we can get clear images.
Hmm.
So it should be declassified by now.
It should be. Hopefully, it is.
So we're gonna look into them rocks because I want to see. I want to know what they. I want to know what they doing.
Me and you both, cause from what the so-called treaties say, they ain't supposed to be down there. But them rules is for us, not for them.
Yeah, that's for thee, not for me. So yeah, the peasants are not supposed to be over here. You can use military force to remove them from from their environment. Is it any indigenous people that live? Hold on, wait a minute. In the Arctic, no, ain't no indigenous people out there. Because I was gonna say if there's some indigenous people living out there, we can go to their stories and see what they say. I bet you they got a nice little alien story for us.
I know.
But there's no one out there.
But I think they used to be out there because if you look at the old maps, you see it's stuff out there on the old maps. Like they'll show you, they got a real old map. They'll show you, shit. You got weird creatures out there. Um, they got. people from missing legends, but the map was flipped, so technically, I can't remember if that would still be south. That
Um,
would be north. So we do have.
right. The South Pole is really the North Pole, and the North Pole is really the South Pole.
Yeah. So we do have people who came from there. Like, to be honest with you, when you look into the etymology of my daddy's last name, it claims a whole nother last name, like from like white people. Norman. It literally translate from men from the north. So I don't know.
Hmm.
But when
Interesting.
you know other cultures say that it was people who came from there, and then when you look into Admiral Byrd, he said it was like ruins and shit up there. And do you remember when they found the pyramid there, the pyramids, remember
Right.
that?
Well, we have to look at the Earth in the same perspective as we look at humans. Well, man being black,
Mm-hmm.
or that Negro phenotype everywhere. So we gotta look at the Earth the same way that the the ice caps and all this ice everywhere is a new phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And so everywhere was, because the people don't understand the tilt of the Earth has changed. um uh a lot of different things. Just tilting the Earth a few degrees will cause major
It
problems.
sure will. Hold on, I'm trying to.
So we're talking about thousands of years. We're looking at, well, thousands of years prior to the last glaciation age. Everything is going to be forest.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going to be forest and tropical. So,
And even the Sahara Desert, that'll be the time, the era when the Sahara Desert was.
oh, the Sahara Desert was a lush
Yeah,
rainforest.
it was a rainforest.
It was a rainforest. And, this part, America was, the United States was also a forest. It would have been in the tropical zone
The whole planet,
as well.
before you really look and do deep history and get looking at an old map, the whole planet was a green lush planet. It just
Yeah.
recently the stuff start being frozen over, and it makes you wonder.
Yeah, this is some a new
So
phenomenon with
the heat
all of the ice.
crashed here, shook it a little bit off its axis, and we've been having cold weather and something, you know, if you read between the lines, what I'm saying.
Right, because just like how India is like that monsoon type
Oh, look,
weather.
what that little that first element I was looking up, it's blodite. You can't
Mm,
find blodite when you click on it. Yeah, it's some elements, like I didn't click on that one. I don't think I did. I clicked on a few elements. It's some elements. It's like when you Google them, you cannot find any information. So you're gonna have to use like
real books.
Go or Brave and stuff like that. And with Brave browser, if you download the browser, it got like a VPN that you can pay to use or whatnot. So you have to use
Mm.
that maybe. I know I
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. That's real interesting, because I think the only way that you're gonna get up on the level of this of okay, what I'm trying to say is we're so far behind far as melanated people that we're gonna need to get back to the real science of things and come up with something that's so outrageous that'll change the whole course.
yep.
So that's why I was, when in the beginning I'm encouraging people to get into technology, because I know our people are, and I'm not just talking about people in the Americas. I'm talking about all of the Aboriginal people around the world. We are the most resourceful individuals and the most intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to get back to what we know, because snow's not doing nothing but using natural sciences.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're doing. That we all have the same material to work with, but we're just sitting here. So they set up a system where you have vices to where you can't uh, really get educated, because you got to worry about rent, you got to worry about this, you got to worry about that, and you can't really just focus on a science
No, you gotta work. You. They make sure that you are in survivor mode.
all the time. You're not on civilization building mode, you're on survival mode.
Mm.
And long as they keep you there, they keep you behind.
They keep your mind off of trying to create hobbies, even think. Cause when you on survival mode, like just think about it. Your brain is in fight or flight mode. You're trying to survive. You're not thinking about nothing else but survival. And you're not
Yeah.
at nothing else. So it's like they force you to have a one track mind when you're in survival mode.
Well, that's why they have you having a 5-day work schedule
Uh-huh.
with no leisure time, but for 2 days, that's it.
And
And so you're supposed to live like this for 30 years. And by the time you're 30 years old, by the time 30 years has passed, you in your 60s.
mm-hmm.
Almost 70 years old. You only got 15 more years to live.
Yep.
So they keep you in this cycle. And no, you're not. Look, we're civilization builders. We build civilizations, been doing it for millions of years.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you stop civilization builders from building civilizations?
You make the whole
You get
world.
them distracted.
Yep. You make them where they're forced to send their kids to school. They force everybody to work. And if everybody's working, hustling, trying to make sure they take away your what is it? Your human rights, where you know you got to work for food, work for everything. Come on now,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to look at everything else. And then when you're in school, they don't even teach you critical thinking skills anymore.
Oh no. That's why we having so much problems on these apps when we show them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, because they don't have the critical thinking skills necessary to do any reasoning
Yep.
behind what we're saying. Because I remember when I got on here, I was getting pushed back from the Latinos, the black people, the Pan Africanists. I knew it wasn't gonna go well with them, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has this mindset of they can't critical think. They can't do no critical analysis.
Mm-mm.
They can't put anything in or any perspective of anything.
Nope.
And I'm like, just like that image that I showed, the white marble that was at the Capitol building. I had to say this numerous of times. While they're lynching people, while they're lynching you guys or our ancestors, this statue is standing on the Capitol steps. So it's not nothing confusing about who we are.
Mm-mm.
So everyone's like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? But you got to put this into perspective. This image is up here on the Capitol building, and they're lynching you publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think that you? Who are you? Who are you? So now you know why it take you 60, 70 years to get a bill passed about anti-lynching, when last time I checked, any kind of murder was a punishable offense.
Mm-hmm. And
What do you need?
did you see that video when I posed the question? Right. When was the last time that we heard that the police labeled a lynching a lynching? They always
Right.
name them as self.
They suicide.
As suicide.
That was happening in 2020. That was happening in
And
2020. I'm
they,
like, he didn't go down. Look, that little boy got that. That little boy was found in the tree in front of the city hall,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
they
they
talking
always
about it
put them
was a
in place.
suicide.
Notice they always put them in places in public where it's no camera pointed there. In Walmart parking lot, on a bridge, headed to school, in certain woods and stuff. Certain places near, right by the, the capital place in the little city. The political area in the cities. No cameras. They always, well, the cameras aren't there, so it's somebody inside, and then they always quickly label them as suicides, even when the evidence showed that these people didn't know how to hang themselves. None of that. Or the one with what's her name, Melissa McKinney's, with her son. I think his name is Jonte or Dante. I can't remember. I'm so sorry that I can't remember this baby name. But they took her son from his house, right? Broke into her house
Hmm.
while she was asleep, put a brick. Now you know how, like, when your kids move out. He was like, either he was a few years old, like he was in his 20s, but he went in, like, 28, 29. He had been out for some years, but like, your parents may still have your bed in your room and stuff in your room or whatever. They went and put a brick in the bed, hung him with a sheet that did not come out of her house or his house, in her backyard. She took a picture of it and put it up on Facebook. His fist was balled up like he went down swinging. His pants was down below his legs. The chair that he supposedly stood up on, it was a good little ways away from his body. There's no way he could have kicked it and it was standing up. It was at least, what, 12 feet away from his body.
Well, the pants down is a true indicator because historically we know that they do that.
Mm,
They'll remove the bottoms from people when they're doing that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's on the level of absurdity because the data suggests and that it's a low probability that a black man will commit suicide in that manner.
yeah, no black
Period.
will commit suicide in that manner. No black person.
No.
If we do, when we do that, we hanging is not a method that any of us will ever do because of the
Mm-mm.
significance of how we have been hung.
Right. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Um, and I don't advocate this kind of behavior. TikTok, we're just discussing it. but
Yeah.
but yeah, we just don't do that. We don't do that kind of thing, and it's rare for us to even take our own life like that
Mm-hmm.
or any kind of way. I mean, we deal with hell all the time.
Yep.
And so you can't really push us to the point to where we're in that situation, even though on rare occasions they do, but it be always surrounding some issue with some baby mama, and most of the time he's went and did something to her, and so now it's like I'm done.
A lot of our stuff is like, it's because it's because of the fact that it's mental. A lot of us, not to say that nobody, of course, anybody who does that, of course, it got not, mental, but you do have some people, which some
Right.
say no, everybody who does that, it's a mental thing. No, you have some people who nothing's mentally wrong with them. They just may be tired of being in this matrix. Like, we live, if you really think about it, we're all enslaved. We live in something, we're being held captive in something damn near like a video game, to be honest with you. Like,
it's basically a simulation of life. You know, I tell people all the time, this is not normal. This is not normal. Where you have to be working as a servant all your life and have to stress and struggle. This is not normal. And then people be like, well, growing your own food is hard. What do you mean growing your own food is hard? I grow food all the time. There's nothing hard about tilling up some food.
I'm gonna tell you what the hard part coming in for them is they it's their house up and it's work 12 hour shift. Of course, it's gonna be hard for you to farm or whatever, but farm your own land, garden or whatnot. But if you think about it, when you do get the gardening, it's gonna come a time where you're producing stuff that you're not gonna be able to eat it all. So what are you gonna do? Let it rot or sell it?
No, you barter.
You barter.
My grandmother used to do that all the time.
Like you can barter, but say, well, hey, you get the garden and you like it, you want to cut down some of your hours at work. You could use some of that stuff, sell it or whatever online, in the little marketplace, start selling it and using that money towards either buying some more stuff to like help, put back into your ground, or use that money. I mean, it might not be a lot, but it might be a lot depending on what stuff you're growing. Because I know I grew tomatoes one time. Man, listen, I was giving tomatoes to everybody. Everybody. I grew some peas. I was giving peas to everybody. Everybody.
I mean, when I was younger, I know my grandmother. She would one of her friends would have some black eyed peas. Yeah, shelled black eyed peas. If you ain't did that, you ain't
Yeah.
you don't know what you missing.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, so some of us had boxes of cabbage, and so they would exchange. Okay, I come grab this cabbage. I give you some of my peas, and I'm gonna be honest. When I was growing up, I lived with my grandmother. Um, Not because of I had to, because I like living with them.
Uh-huh.
How I go grocery shopping, we never went grocery shopping like that. It was like we got food from the whole food markets, or we bartered. My grandmother went fishing every with her um, one of our quote unquote aunts
Mm-hmm.
fishing, and we would eat fish. And I didn't eat a fillet until I was an adult. So I never had a fish fillet. And so I'm like, these is how we lived. I mean, yeah, we went and got rice and sugar, but the bulk of our food was like grown or bartered with other women. We don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
And it's like, and we don't do that anymore. And then we eat a lot of junk now.
Yep.
So we're heavily dependent on the system that we hate.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the problem. I got a pot with greens in it, and the greens is 7 foot tall by 7 foot wide. So if this is the way that I was raised to eat, and this is how we do. And I noticed that people, they just they're comfortable with eating the food that they're eating,
Yep.
and being dependent on eating junk from their oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real simple to grow food. It's not hard. If you got a little patch of grass, you can stick a damn yam in there
Yep.
and have yams all winter.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or you
you know,
and go to Family Dollar and get them kiddie pools. Get you a few of them kiddie pools and stack one. Put some bricks in the bottom one. Put some holes in them. Put some bricks to kind of like elevate it off or whatever. And put another one in on top of that. Put holes in that too, so you don't root rot your stuff. Put a bunch of holes in it. plant
Yeah,
and make sure you get another one to put on top, so when it get cold, you can kind of put that on top along with plastic to make you a little greenhouse. And
yeah. I was reading the explorers of um uh the basically, so white folks was exploring Mississippi back in the day. I want to say, I think it was the French. Yeah, it was the French. They was exploring Mississippi and Louisiana, the Mississippi River, and they were interacting with the Indians there. These not the wandering Indians, but the Indians who had houses.
mm-hmm,
And they said that the one of the people died, and they had a repast, called it a repast.
mm-hmm,
And so at the repast they had smoked meat, which is barbecue,
mm-hmm,
and they had cornbread, they had yams, or what they call sweet potatoes,
mm-hmm.
and wild greens. And I'm sitting here, I'm like,
That's what we still eat to this day. We still eat that to this day.
but this was the first explorers when the French gained that territory. When the French gained that territory, they sent out the expedition to explore it. And they're exploring the waterways of the Mississippi, and they're encountering all of these native tribes, different tribes of Indians. And they strictly classified the Indians for the Indians that live in dwellings, log dwellings, versus the wandering Indians that live in tents.
Mm-hmm.
So they interacting with the dwelling Indians, and this is what they eat. They along the Mississippi River. They catching the food out the Mississippi. They smoking meat. They eating. They said that their main diet was cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here. I'm like, you know what? Anybody who do a little bit of research would be like, hold on. They have a repast. They have dancing. They live in Mississippi. They eat cornbread, sweet potatoes, and wild greens. Who the hell did that sound like?
American Negro. Ding 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 ding
A
ding.
right. This is what we was used to eating. We've been eating this. This ain't nothing new. My grandmother told me what my grandmother would eat. This is my grandmother on my grandfather's side, who's on the Dawes Road. She said that for that she would eat sweet potato, which we call them yams.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear them interchangeable with the yam, but it's a sweet potato to us. And she ate a half a sweet potato for breakfast every morning. That's what they eat. I remember when I was a kid living with my grandmother, they would make a big pot of turnip greens and some cornbread, and that's all we was eating all day. That was it. With that big old piece of fat back in there. That that pork whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Pork fat back.
Uh-huh.
But it's just
Some people put,
it's just funny. It's just funny to me that they telling you what these Indians is
and
eating.
we still,
And I have been to powwows. I have been to gatherings with the Native Americans, and I promise you, they're not eating that stuff.
mm-mm.
Ask them, ask them to show you how to make some wild greens. Ask them.
They ain't probably gonna look
Ask them
crazy.
to make Ask them to make some wild greens. Ask them to make their traditional food. It's nothing like what the books are saying. Nothing.
And then
They couldn't
say,
even.
and let me tell you what they'll say today. They'll say, oh, the reason the information is not matching up in the books is because we was lying to them. We was not giving them correct information. So that is why. No, the reason it's not matching up is because you are the replacement that the government paid. They paid you. They brought y'all here.
Yeah.
They pay y'all to this day. Like, bro,
But how you got the language and the culture though, but you ain't got the right food that they
and you know
documented.
how they
And you know white folks love this some soul food.
You want to know how they got the knowledge? Now, it was some of us out doing. Because you know how we do today. Somebody get close, we be like, oh, that's cousin here. We like them, this, that, and the third. We adopting you into the family. And then, when you get to looking into some of them residential schools and stuff like that, they had two facets between them freedmen schools and them residential school. And people don't think to look into the freedmen school. They think it was like a school, a educational school. No, it started off as a church, baby, a church. So they
Right.
now basically writing down the knowledge that you was giving them from your culture in one hand, and in the other hand, they teaching you what they indoctrinating you with. What we know today is that little Bible, that little book with the little white man
Yeah.
from the sky. What?
Why
God.
is that? Why is it that we have a if you go back far enough, we have a spirit house,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the Native American reservation and they got a spirit house,
Yep.
and it has nothing to do with Christianity.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
But sister.
But they're the same exact things. Same things. But the original ones, y'all not making turnip greens. And wild greens is turnip greens and mustard greens. You ain't making that.
And a lot of times
You go.
they called it wild greens because they do multiple different greens together. Like they wouldn't too much do dandelion greens like that because dandelion greens they get mushy quick. They'll mix
Mm-hmm.
like turnips, mustards, and collards, which them three greens together is good. But they'll do stuff like they
Mm-hmm.
do have wild cabbage out there that don't taste bad. It actually tastes pretty good if you know how to get the tankiness out of them.
But you know what? We're gonna do an experiment. We're gonna ask them. Show us your greens, what you make, how you make your greens, and your hot water cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
Make us three types of cornbreads. Make us three types of cornbreads, and that can't include tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make a tortilla. You gotta make three types of cornbreads and some greens and any other vegetable that is documented in the history books that is your traditional food. I want you to do that because they ain't gonna be able to do it.
Nope.
They ain't gonna be able to do it, and they gonna lie. They gonna lie and say, "Oh, it's because it was lost," but you know everything else, and you know my identity too.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm not. Oh, you not native, but you know everything else. But you need to. If you can't make the foods that the white man said that he ate when he came here, because he was kicking it with you. So you gonna show us because I can show you in how to make these foods. We know how to make these foods with our eyes closed.
We do.
But I've never seen them make it. I went to it was a Cherokee function out here, and I went there, and you know what kind of food they had?
What kind
White people food.
that nasty stuff?
It was white people food. And I promise you it was white people food. I was like, what the hell is this? They had them regular pork and beans out the can and then mixed them with some corn.
Mm-mm. That is white people slop. That is slop.
And I was like, what is this?
And they probably,
What's going on with this? But y'all supposed to have been had corn for thousands of years. We can show you how to make corn. I don't know how many different ways.
we could show you how to make grits, baby, out the corn. Chicken hominy.
I've never even heard them say that. The only thing that I've seen them make is fried bread.
Hell, we
And
we play with corn.
that ain't nothing but a damn funnel cake.
Listen to this. We play with corn so much that we name our braids going straight back corn rolls.
Hey, I kid you not. Now you know I don't play no games. I have a I have a book from I think it's Christie's
Mm.
where they selling artifacts and they have a pre-Columbian Peru pendant. It's probably about this big. And the reason why I haven't showed it on this app is because the two figures are in a compromising position.
Oh.
But they are dressed in the typical Native American style, not the feather dudes over there, the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're dressed just like that. And guess what they got on top of their head? The man, cornrows.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't put it on there because I'll blow my account up.
Yep. Hey, it's
Cause I,
three.
yeah, I'm like, you guys, and this is from Christie's from an art gallery. This is not some run of the mill type, some random stuff I pulled off the internet. I actually physically own this catalog. And I'm like, I want to show it, but if I show it, people gonna be so upset that I showed it, they gonna ban my account.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's like, why why is it so? And don't think that them Native Americans don't know. They know.
They know. They know.
The one girl tried to sit up there and tell me that was them, the ones with the afros was them. And some guy came out. He said he's like, I'm from Africa. I'm from the slave ships. But he came on there and he said, you know what, you guys are lying, because I've been paying attention to when these people showing you evidence that there's black people here. You guys come out just like white people
Mm-hmm.
against them. And that's us. He's like, you a goddamn lie. That ain't you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't black. You can't be that African phenotype, that black phenotype like that. That's not you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so we got the pan afros on our side now. I think they coming around.
Yep. I think they slowly waking up. But hey, sis,
I think they
I'm
I think they coming around.
you heard. I'm getting
Yeah, I'm about to get off this app, and I think I'm gonna watch some movie or something because we've been on this for a minute. But we'll go live, and I guess we probably do it once a week. I guess.
I'll try to do something once a week. Try to build a following on that.
Yeah, to see where we going with this and get more structured. Cause Loke and all of them, Los and all of them, they be on top of this damn going live. We gotta get more structured.
I know me. It my anxiety. Like I'm an introvert, so I have to boost my confidence and like mentally prepare myself to do this. Like the videos, it took me a minute to do that because before I was on YouTube and I was like making videos and having like my logo or whatever story I'm doing in the front, so it was different. So now, I was like, I got to the point I'm like, I want to share genealogy and really talk about that or whatever. So came over here. So making videos is one thing. Now, I kind of got my confidence boosted, but you know,
Yeah, that's why I'm like, let's go live and try it out. We gonna have some little trolls. and now we know how to mute they behind, kick them out,
Mm-hmm.
and get them out the way while we gotta practice at this. Practice makes perfect, and just present our evidence because I don't think it's that many of us that actually go live and do any lectures. I don't see too many. I don't see too many. So we might be they might be in the same position that we are, feel like they don't want to, they're shy or don't want to come out, because I know first quarter she was on here shouting out, and American Indian came through, and so they there,
Yeah.
but I don't hardly see them come out and make no lecture videos or say stuff. So we trying to,
I,
let's be the
I
pioneers,
don't.
and let's try and get them to come out too.
Some of them I don't think can go live. Like I remember the last time when me and you was on here live. Remember when I was just on here? I tried to like add him, but like he got enough followers to go live. But I think they got his thing locked because I couldn't see him. No, uh,
Oh,
or whatever. So some of them, I think, because the people be flagging. But I made a little video and I like messaged a few in the background to tell them like what I've been doing. Like if you notice, I haven't been staying up on top of genealogy and talk about the stuff I normally do. I said I was gonna, switch up a little bit, you know,
right.
stuff here, switch it up or whatever. Because when I was just on it, I was hitting like all type of troll. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, they hate that information, and that's why I stopped. I switched it up from the other guys because I'm noticing that they're recycling the same images,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why I said let me go get some images that they ain't seen before,
Mm-hmm.
and then show them a historical context on why you don't see it no more. Because you got these Mexicans and these other bitter people who are advocating. We can't even have a damn mural that have an Olmec head on it.
Mm-hmm. They be trying
Because they
to
going to
take.
rally together and take that away.
Uh-huh. And then the stuff that did have the true Aboriginal looking people on there, they advocated to have it taken out. Like, to my, oh, it's offensive. It's offensive to you because that the image is showing is a copper colored looking Indian.
It don't look like you.
Mm-hmm. It,
So that's erasure.
it,
And I'm like, but that last picture was indisputable. You can go to, they ain't got no Negroes dressed as no Indians calling them an American Indian at the Capitol building.
mm-mm.
They that now that's impossible. Now if that wasn't the nail that sealed the coffin, then you just in denial.
Let me tell you, where a lot of people in denial. Now we all know about the Civil Rights Bill, but you'll be surprised how many people actually ever looked at it. Because if they looked at that damn bill, they'll know exactly who they are. Because it's called the Indian Civil Rights Bill.
I'm gonna look at it because I'm one of them people who ain't never even paid
It
no attention to it.
it's the Civil Rights Bill of 1968, the one they made right after Martin Luther King died. It says it's the Indian Civil Rights Bill, the rights up for the Indians. It tell you right on the thing who you are. And then when you go back and look at the pictures, I ain't see no Mongols marching with no black folks.
They sold us out. They sold us out.
While you're playing, I might have a screenshot of it on my phone. Let me.
I might go off into that on this next week's content. Go in on that too, because I'm gonna post a couple of videos, and I think I saw I think 169 or something like that. And I follow him, but he knows how to speak Cherokee. You probably have seen it before. Dark skin, dark brown, um,
Cut off.
gray goatee. I don't know. I'll tag him or bring him out. bring them out this week. But yeah, I think I'm gonna. He told me to look into that civil rights bill, and I think I may look into it and just to follow up with, since we already own Congress and what was in Congress and at the steps when they signed in this thing, and I'm gonna keep on going back to it every time they're up here. When they're up here doing something in Congress about Native Indian American Indians, mind yourself that this statue is right there. So they ain't confused about who you are. It's
Look,
just you
look at the
confused.
bottom. Title 2 at the bottom.
Damn. So how do we get here? Either someone is two things. It's
School,
two
the
things.
school, and then when this happened, a lot of us went over to vote in Democrat. Democrat Party was started by the KKK. They have ever been forever been against our favor. We switched over. The Republicans was the Negro. If you look at the old stuff, you'll start seeing putting two and two together. When the Democrats got majority in the government, we started really getting indoctrinated and start losing a lot of stuff. So,
Except for the old people, especially the old people that was living on the reservations.
hmm
They
but you
knew.
got two types of reservations. You got one that's listed as reservation or whatever, and then you got projects, which is another reservation. And if you go to the housing thing, like I done been on housing, and I looked at that paper thing they send you. It says, um, that thing says Indian on it. Like when you get your Section 8 or your what is it called? Your tenant based housing. Project based housing. That
Mm.
thing say something housing of Indians.
But how do
So
we
you
go
got
from? Because I.
different types of reservations. Cause I mean, if I don't like people, some people say, and I'm just going based off my city and a few other cities I done lived in. I done lived in Miami. I done lived in the city I live in now. I done lived in Virginia. I done lived in Maryland. I done visit quite a few states and been in the hood of places. And I lived in Fort Stewart before. It's a hood outside of there. All of them is full with black. Some of them do have whites and other races sprinkled in there, but majority of them are black people. Then when you think about who black people are, we are indigenous people. We Indian. We got two types of reservations. Two types.
How do what I don't understand is how do we go from being using the title that Congress gave to us and Congress acknowledged us as being American Indian? How do we go from American Indian being in the law in the Civil Rights Act of identifying us as Indian to kind of African American individual? How do we get to
How do
this?
we get
To this?
so
How do we get here to where we're talking about? We're from Africa.
what comes
How does this even work?
besides the school systems, certain people put into place. James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Jesse Jackson, when he was running for president, and start pushing the African American thing. All the Roots movies, everything in Hollywood, and the indoctrination, and of course because we black, majority of the time, if we don't want to see black exploitation movies, we don't watch the slave movies and all that. Even though we say we tired of seeing all that, so we kind of like self indoctrinated ourselves, and along with several things they did it with us with taking people out of the household, whether it was from the drug thing, the gang street, whatever. Take you get what I'm saying? All of that combined.
Right. My grandfather did say he did tell me about the when they gave out that welfare. My grandfather never took welfare. He said that destroyed the home, the family home. the welfare, because they set it up to where the man can't be in the house.
Mm-mm.
And he said that they would the back then the housing authority people would come and check
Yep.
to see who's in the house. And my grandfather said that he said the man be running out the back door
Mm-hmm.
from the house. And so I'm like, damn, so they make you dependent on the system and then turn around tell you just like it is right now. I got a bunch of slack from people when I start saying stuff about Native American, and then there was a lot of Pan Africans jumping on there talking about we're Africans. We you guys is crazy. We're Africans. And I'm like, you guys, it sounds like you guys are paid to get on here and say this.
Yeah,
They had people,
I was finna say that.
they had some of the people saying, "Oh, Negroes is from West Africa. You're not from Egypt." But I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. The like they found the skulls of us in the right there in the center. It wasn't on West Africa, Nigeria region. It's right there in the middle between Morocco and all of them other and Egypt. So how you gonna tell me that I'm not from that we not from them peoples? They relegating us to South West Africa and South Africa. It doesn't make any sense.
Another thing, this is my whole issue with the whole thing, right? This planet has been around for 4 billion years. They right? How do you not
Right.
you trying to say we recently just start doing stuff? How do you not know that them bones that's over there is not from somebody who traveled over there from over here?
That's possible too.
And how do you not know like the bones you're taking?
That's we've been making tools
Like you
for
see
2 million years.
bones from here, the bones they find here, that could be people who live in Antarctica. Like you don't know. It's not like it's something engraved on these people saying, "I came from this landmass that's shaped like this."
I had remember that one dude, JB. What happened to him?
JB, JB.
You remember JB? The fat one saying, trying to tell us that we from West Africa. I clowned him a couple of times.
I don't know. Let me tell you about me though. Like, I a lot of times when I'll block them quick. Like, I don't interact with them because I done peep that a lot of them they come with bots and they little minions. They little people they be having in their little Discord groups or Telegram groups, and they be having people like match report you and like gang up on you. That's why like before me when I said I was gonna say I think a lot of these people are paid agents. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. Like I feel like some of these people, and I feel this shit like spiritually. Like when I come into contact with someone, I'm like, mm-mm. I just feel, same little feeling you get when you run into the popo or somebody who trying to look like they not the popo and they same feeling I get. I
Yeah.
really feel like a lot of these people are paid people to kind of like keep pushing people to angle them somewhere else. But this is my thing. Why would you work for these people to help, push people away unless you come from over there and your family, like your family might have migrated here, been the first few people who became immigrants here where they started letting colored people over here from other places. So you might be an immigrant or whatever. So I can see the benefit in that there because that means if you make me think I'm from over there, I can't get, my land ain't over there. But you can get a portion of my land here if you try to push me off of my land. Cause think
You try you right.
like really about
Because
this whole thing. Like I never brought this up. I talk about this often. We are indigenous to this land, right? They are invaders. Of course, they're never gonna stop letting people immigrate here because the more and more people they allow to immigrate here, the more and more people they have to try to topple over us. And the reason they keep
right.
bottom is because this is our land. They're gonna keep bringing waves of invaders over here because they're not immigrate. They're not immigrating. They're invaders. They're
I got it.
invaders. It benefit them to keep bringing more invaders over here.
That's why the Africans come over here and right, and then they don't come in.
It don't matter what color they are. They're
They
all
don't come here
invaders.
and start helping us. I rarely see them.
They let you know that we and them are two different people.
I rarely see them come and start talking about building with us. Mm-hmm. That's true.
And they
So what they doing is burying us.
mm-hmm.
They burying us
Mm-hmm.
and more people,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you tell them you're American Indian, look, let me tell you this. I was at I went to family function of my husband's. They all from Africa. They from specifically Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
So they start telling me about the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of them work in the nursing field, and I know that they was forced to get that vaccine. So I tell them, I said, look, these people been trying to exterminate my people since they got here. I made that statement in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, what? And I told them, I said, I have been telling you that this is my land since we met 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to tell me, you want to come over here as a foreigner and tell me who I am in my land. And then so we got into the conversation, and so the one of the guys say, well, I thought that they brought y'all in from off the slave ship. And I said, had you ever asked us? And then one of the girls said, my coworker said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you guys just come over here, assume, believe whatever the white man say, and
Mm-hmm.
assume it to be true.
Yep. That they
And then when I tell you something about this my land and this is my country, you're going to tell me about my story. You're going to tell me about my story coming over here as a foreigner.
mm-hmm.
And he did exactly what I said. He turned around, and it's programmed within them too.
Yep.
It's programmed in their head that this can't possibly be. What is black people here? And I told him, I said, it's black people all around the world.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you.
We was
Only
just talking.
it's not programming all of them. It's certain ones of them that are say that we're not the same. It's the ones who've been colonized by the same colonizer of us. The ones
Right,
that are allied with the ones who colonize us. It's certain ones. Not all of them think that. It's just certain ones. Like all of them that's on the west coast of Africa. Hold on, yeah, west coast. A lot of them think that you know, not all, but a lot of them think that we came from them, and I'm just like, bruh. Well, what do your elders say? Like, I remember I was talking to this African dude. We was like real cool some years ago. He was saying we came from there, but he was like, but my grandmama said that they never, nobody ever stole nobody from here. And I was like, well, who do you believe? Who taught you in school or us? Your grandmama. And I made him think.
right,
And I was like,
right.
taught you in school is the person
You
who colonized you, right? Are you gonna believe the person who colonized you, who came over here and stole your land, start stealing your land, your resources and stuff, or your grandmama who got her information from her mama and daddy, and they got their information from the other people before them?
right. But you gonna go to school and listen to what this white man told you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, they kind of like listen. They listen. I remember when I was in kindergarten. I never forget this lady name. Her name is Miss Calloway. If I ever see Miss Calloway, I'm gonna beat the dog. I'm gonna punch that bitch and walk off. I'm gonna punch her and run. But like, I remember this was when my grandmama was like younger and moving around good. But every time Halloween, not Halloween, Thanksgiving came up, she would we rebel against how not Halloween, Thanksgiving. We rebel and this and that. And I really really talked about my culture. That lady looked at me and told me, she was like, what tribe your grandmama claim y'all come from? And I told her, and she looked at me and she was like, no, y'all too dark to be Indians. Y'all is not Indians. And most of the Indians you kill. Y'all cannot be. And I'm Indian. Like, and as a child, you kind of like, feel some type of way, like, hold on, well, I am in front of you all day long, whatever. But it's still, my people, they were studies telling me, you get what I'm saying? So I had like a love
Right.
relationship, but it was kind of like, because I'm in school, I'm believing them, it's weird. Like, I always knew who I am, but I'm not gonna lie. For like a little bit, I was like, maybe these people, because they tell you, oh, they ain't know how to read and this, that, and the third, but it ain't that. They knew their own language. They had their own languages or whatever. They wouldn't ask them, do they know how to read or write? They was asking them, do you know how to read and write English?
Well,
Like, to
I got a similar story. I got a similar story that when, because I grew up in an all black neighborhood, and so the black people, when I show up looking the way I look, they they automatically know that there's something different about me. And I tell them, they ask me, well, what did you mix with? I'm Native American. You're not Native American. They got the joke about, oh, everybody got Indian in their family, saying they got good hair and all of that.
mm,
You're not Native American. So I just default to just tell them, okay, I'm half white then. Okay, I'm half white. And so it was the black kids who was the ones that pressured me into stop saying that I was Native American and to start saying that I was half white
mm,
or mixed with white or somebody in my family is white, which it wasn't true.
mm,
It wasn't true. And so I kind of like it kind of shook me a little bit. And when all this technology came out, I actually set out to see if the story that was being told to me was true. And but mind you, my grandfather is sitting right there in the house looking at me, telling us my grandmother is my great grandmother that's on the road. I'm going to her house. She's telling me, mind you, all these people is telling me, and my great grandmother was darker than you.
mm,
I'm gonna post a picture of her. I'm gonna post a picture of these people who is on this Dawes Road that is my family members, and they're telling me that they're Native American. They're the Native Americans, and so just like how you like, hell no, they can't be. They telling us that they're black and they're Africans from the slaves. Cause mind you, they got this Kunta Kinte coming out now,
mm,
and so I'm like, no, they lying. These Negroes is just some Africans, and then saying that they Native Americans. They ain't because I'm falling for the shit that they telling me at school, and my peers are saying. And so I actually went had my grandfather on the phone when I was got on Ancestry.com, and I had him punch in. I told him to give me the names of the people. Give me the names, and at this time, my grandfather is in his about 89 years old. So I'm on the computer typing away, and sure enough, traced them right to a tribe on the Dawes Road.
mm,
But what make it so bad is that we have land in Oklahoma, but I let society convince me that we was from that my ancestors and my people is not telling the truth.
mm,
And so that was and and that's why I'm like, how do we even get here? How do we get so brainwashed to where we don't even want to
It
listen to our elder people when they telling us stuff?
keep saying the same thing, you start to be like, start to doubt maybe they don't know what they're talking about. But I'm gonna tell you, like, with some of the people I've noticed, right, when you have certain families who are kind of like, and I'm speaking just from my experience, like looking at how my grandmother was or whatever, like my granddaddy, like, okay, my grandmama was one way, and then I was lucky enough, her aunties, right, her aunts, which was my mom's great aunt, which was my great great aunt, right? So I had, a generation who was born in the 1800s, right? And I think I want to say, yeah, hold on, my aunt Willie, her husband, that was, hold on, my second great aunt. Oh, and she had a brother too, so I had some uncles too. Listen, we had some generations. So with some of them, like with my grandmama, for example, she is the one who, what you would call bougie, who I guess wanted to break out of that life, because if you look at the family, her family came from the country, and that's where all our land at. Like, we got a gang of land out there, but she moved to the city. So, and with her, if you like, like me analyzing her now, I'm just like, okay, she was like rejecting her culture and was trying to assimilate. Basically, she was assimilating. So you have some who fully assimilated and rejected their roots to, and then you had some who, oh Lord, hold on, my baby about to fall out the dang on bed. Watch out, you gonna fall out the bed, baby. So with the ones who fully assimilated, that knowledge was not passed on, and then it was instilled in them, especially if they, how they go to grandma's house, chill, and this, that, and the third, and they sit in front of a TV. They didn't, been programmed by the box. Oh.